there for good Wi-Fi. It is the 15th of May 2019, allegedly, the year of our Lord, and I've got a message for you, a stern message brought to you by my 12-year-old daughter. I shall compose. We have scribes. Afternoon, good day. Let's let the rest pick up the notifications and we shall begin the message. I'd like to see the comments actually. Let me go inside. Let's put you here. There we go. We'll close that for the benefit of the neighbours. Yanka's just come back and informed me that there's been an announcement at school, and it went to something like this. The male teachers are getting embarrassed at school. As you can imagine, as a teacher being stood at the front of the class, I am the teacher, you scribes are the students, and you are sat down and you are facing me. I am stood up, I am facing you. So we are opposite each other. I may be stood higher, I may be at ground level. Different academies, trusts and schools, different setups. And male teachers aren't allowed to mention this to female students because of allegations that may follow. So, Yanka's been told by a female teacher today that the teachers are checking skirt lengths because it's become rather embarrassing for male teachers to present to the class of your and our sons and daughters, and the popular girls, the ones that are popular, everyone, would you believe, are yes, trying to trick the academy. And what they're doing is they're getting their hem. Let's see if we can get a bit more angle without dropping you. Come on. They're getting the hem and they're doing this. What's it? Folding it that way, yeah? So then it can be folded and it can raise the length of the skirt, and they fold it again and they fold it again, see, on itself. Oh, Thin Dave. Yeah, fold it so then it would raise when they're checking down here for the length. And they're like, oh yes, the end of the skirt is not rolled up. So they're rolling up the waist, these popular girls. And bless her, Yanka, she says, these girls are silly, Dad. She says, because they'll get nowhere in life. So rest assured that if you instill and install a good ethos, a good environment, a cognizance with the heart, the head, the heart and the stomach, then even in the face of such, you know, promiscuity from 11 to 12-year-olds upwards, eager to show some leg, eager to show the boys at school that they've got, you know, what it takes to, 12, I implore you. So any comments that you could make or give me with regards to this, I'd be grateful for. I'm not going to get angry and swear and everything. It's a fact of life. The birds and the bees. So before I get dinner and look at some emails and check a few things, I wanted to convey this message from my heart to your hearts and minds. Opinions on it. And if you can, start checking. And yeah, it is the academy's responsibility, because you can check your son, well, I'd say daughter actually on this occasion, skirt wearers, and you can check that everything's as it should be. And once they get a few feet from home, obviously, can we start hemming it up, can't you? So you're not going to be able to police this, govern this, and you're not responsible for this, but you are legally responsible for your, you know, in the eyes of the law. It's not for me. And you know, governable, you are the settlors and grantors of them assets and property. That's your property, and you need to instill time and education, because unfortunately Hollywood and the Nickelodeons and the Disney channels and the SpongeBobs and everything that's like picking up and getting out there, the ones that come from Disney Channel and become a pop singer, such as Ariana Grande and other such girls that started on the Disney Club. I believe our very own Anglo Fern Cotton is another example of a Disney Club, prodigy. R.I.P. Keith Flint, you crazy mother. So, these establishments, these institutions, these academies, they are quite there. Let me lead you on to this, keeping the thread but going a little bit off in many ways. Have you heard of Pope Urban? Pope Urban, anybody? If you've heard of Pope Urban, gosh, because you know about the First Crusade, the First Crusades even. And the First Crusades, I'll paraphrase because it's massive. It's too much information. It's a torrent, and in there is a bit where the Pope Urban has called forth the monarchies of the realms, and he's got them in council, conference, attendance. Certain words, I'm not going to give them all because I can't think. And he says to them, "Look, we got a problem. Your Christian lands are at the harm, injury, loss. They're under war. They're being besieged by dirty, evil, sick, Muslims." It's not my opinion. It's not me. Peace and love. We're a big family. The tribes are. So the First Crusade, you've got Pope Urban. There you go. Proclaiming, saying, they have got a title, the monarchy, to the church at the time, because of the appointment of the king, queen, emperors, different too, but the monarchies got called. Look at the First Crusades, Pope Urban, and then the subsequent meetings and speeches, assemblies, papal is the key there, and papal sees. So you may think, Dave, you're a bit harsh, you're a bit, random sometimes. No, we're not, because in that little setup there, those words were used by the man of God. I won't repeat them. You'll have to rewind if you forgot what I said about a darker skinned family tribe, brothers and sisters. So how can the house of God gather up all of the white monarchy? There's another thing. And basically tell them that they have got to go on a mission of Christ, of God. They were ordered to go and sort out the Christian lands where the we'll say Muslims, for want of for paraphrasing, darker skinned, Asian, Islamic, wow. So you're under God and you're ordering white monarchs to go back to the lands, kick arse and murder the brown skinned family members which are under God, covenant, the tribes of Israel. So there's a clear message through history from white folk to sort this out or face something. So that has got a little bit more elixir-y, do you know what I mean? And it's just more indirect. It's more a little bit of a jab here, pulling knives out your back all the time. That's why we're saying you need to protect and have your shields up. So girls are being fed a message, all right? They're being fed a sex message. And we need to start to recognise, bless her, I could cry for happiness of how Yanka has reacted and views these girls that hem up the skirt to try and look a bit more, with the boys. And I can't even utter the words for a 12-year-old. That's why I made that noise. Your sons and daughters are your assets. They're our assets. They're the future. And this machine is trying to formulate a subconscious programming for the divine, clean, unsalted, virgin-like boys and girls, sons and daughters here are getting polluted. And the true family, tribes of the Bible, the true tribes, it's all been mixed up, and you've got the Africa nation with the actual true tribes of the Bible, shipped out from Judea, we'll call it, and enslaved. All right, this is another biblical, and things were involved with the monarchies and the churches here. And when you take black members of Judea, Babylon, these eras, and you put them on ships and you take them from Africa, stolen then from Africa to America, and you train them up. There's a point, you train them up via Masonic television and subconscious programming, and just do it, govern this. Oh, so a little bit of passion. And they took those true heirs of, the original Hebrew texts and lands, and they moved them to Africa, and then they shipped them from Africa to America, and they had this massive project, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. The true, and I'm just summarising and paraphrasing. I'm just giving you the glossary, and the glossary is not good. At your peril, beryl. Sickening, because this is going biblical again. Jezebel. Have anybody heard of Jezebel and the stories of such things? It's infecting all creeds, all sexes, all races. We're all under one roof, and we all have to operate in the covenant of how you see fit. I'm not telling anybody anything, but you are the owners, set laws, property, allodial title owners of that blood, and young blood is going astray at 12. Yeah, I know it's normal. I'm just saying that, the teachers can't say anything. They're faced with all these girls. We're sat down with the skirts rolled up. They can't mention anything or they'll be labelled a pedo. And the girls aren't going to roll them down. They're trying to impress the boys in the class. So it's just, if you think just about this topic and what I'm saying, why are they so desperate at 12 to impress? Why have they not got the true divine, honourable, clear conscience. We say honour, but we mean conscience, conscionable, with a clear conscience. So that conscience and that cognizance and that dissonance that the school are there to set in, much like they're leaving fatter than they've ever been. 40 years of government intervention into eating healthily, it's done nothing. We argue that the academies are unjust and a lot like a military campus, and it would be better for us to educate, not school. The big difference there is those two words, Mark Twain. So disturbing, and I will link up with you later. I haven't much time now. This is just an emergency cast of the net, of the magnetic, systems that we have. Outside here, we've got drunken folk. Oh, pray for me. Drunken folk trying to operate Alexa. Alexa, can you find me? Girls just want to have fun. Alexa, because they're drunk. I can't operate, pretend they're drunk, and it's brilliant. It really is. They are drunk. They're trying to talk to a machine. It doesn't understand them. And we got, I'm like, where is man going? Where is man going? Oh, the things that are going to be said when you're drunk. What happens when you're drunk? Lower your inhibitions. You have a laugh. What are you going to start saying to Alexa when you're drunk? Wow. Who's at the other end of these things? Everything's happening very fast. We don't seem to have a say or much control. What you do have control of is your blood, your property, your asset, your immediate things around you. So I'm just letting you know that I'm touched for how Yanka's handled that, and I'm upset and mortified that she has to face that and be put in that adversarial state. She's a fan of, yes, what's her name? What is her name? I can't think of the name, but she's a fan of where that bomb was in Manchester, that girl, Ariana Grande, from such places as Your TV. So we're watching it and we're doing the best we can with a load of crap. Let's look at your comments and then we go in. Thank you very much. Will, Kevin, Fly, Lulu. Don't let your serpent out live, Dave. No, never. I'll get the t-shirt first. Put that on. Surprise. The serpent is rising. Television mind control. Yes, Yardis, that's the thing I missed off yesterday with the telegram, phone, telephonics, telekinesis, and television. Got the colloidal silver and post from SPLs, and in 3 days cleared up a rash I got from chemicals last week. Thank you, Dave. Love you, brother. Who is this? I didn't see your name. Oh, what? Fly on the wall. Boom, Shankar. Yeah, mine. Got paint on it. Look, I banged my arm, but it's nearly gone. It's red. I've just put some oil on it. It's very hard to show this one because of the positioning. But yeah, it is going down. It hasn't got colloidal on it at the minute, or I wouldn't be going, hello, sunshine, woo, sun rays. But yeah, so that's been a year though, and it was up there, so This is not a remedy or a fix. These are elements of which, if applied correctly, unlike the elements of our ingredients of food, they can help us, copper and other such things. So excellent. It's good to know we have that connection, we have that feedback. I am honoured, and you can make one yourself, a colloidal silver generator. There's a video on the channel. We'd like man to actually do this themselves and have them everywhere. So for those that can't and aren't sure or haven't got the equipment, we'll look at recycling and making stuff, and then we will send them out at cost or just over cost. So thank you, Fly. Good news. My girl wees pants all the time, but how old will? Jason, Lisa, Archon, Monarchy. Yeah, Archons, monarchs. Through my discovery, research, due diligence, they're not Archons. Yeah, they're not. They're not all the same. That's what I'll say, Lisa. Jerry, I comment. Just thinking about religion the other day, it doesn't make sense. Jason, that the history of the First Crusades are horrendous. It's just disgusting. By the rivers of Babylon, indeed. Can't these male teachers control themselves and where they look funny? How it's the kids' fault? I know. Well, the male teachers have gone to the principals or the trustees and said that this needs to be sorted out. The girls are getting a bit too frisky, promiscuous with the skirt lengths, and we've noticed. So they're not going to say it to the girls, but they say it to their employer, and they've got a responsibility, haven't they? So where do you draw the line? How do you draw the line? Girls wear trousers is what will be happening. That would sort it straight out. The government would issue, because it's a public place, and I know the rules and the rights and everything, but let's keep it how it is and with at that level. They would then right. What would happen is notice of protest. A protest from man, autographed and signed. My daughter is now wearing X, and you tell them that it's to safeguard your daughter hemming it up, because we cannot be there, and you are the owner and you have the have the rights to do this, not the legal title as they think, but the rights. You would say, I am now offering my, and I'm sorry, but property, asset, daughter, all together after the other, maybe a slash, to wear the following uniform for the following reasons, or the following dress, attire, clothing whilst at school. I don't like uniform. It's just like the uniform commercial codes and the uniformity of. It's not uniform. We're not uniform. We're all individual, specific, unique. We are anything but uniform. So yeah, and you do it that way. And if you get any grief, we'd like to hear from you. The reasons are that the external influences to your daughters, because we're just talking about skirts, so daughters is out of control, and it's not to be trusted, and it's influence. It's not you, it's not the family environment, it's the music, it's the TV, it's the messages. For example, I want you to ruin my life, and we'll go further if they need examples. So it is the kids, follow it, children, assets, sons and daughters, following trends to fit in. Yeah, Wi-Fi spy machine should be sterile. And stood at the front of the class with the class sat down facing them, and the girls' skirts are rolled up to impress the boys in the school. The popular girls, 2.88, and the teachers have put a complaint in to the head and said, now then, you need to put an announcement to all girls in the academy that school skirts are going to be monitored, and if they're caught with a skirt that is less than the inches required up from the knee, I believe it's measured from, then they will be spoken to and then sent home. So they've all got normal skirts on, but they've started to roll up the hem, so it looks like they're from the bottom. It looks like they are unaltered, but really the altering has happened around the mid, the pyramid, the middle fire area, pyramid. Pyra, fire, mid fire, around the middle waist area where your pyramid is, your pyramid of power, energy, and such triangles as. They are 4 years off from being 16. All right, that's a good 4 years. So they're getting ready for the next stage. So perhaps we need a course, a book, some kind of publication that somebody could write for us, that a collection of you could write, and you could put in, when you was at school and your experiences, ladies, sisters, and you could write a publication. We'd like to promote the female energy. We have, the left and right brain to consider. We know the benefits of the left and right brain and how they operate, who operates what, the conscious, the subconscious. So to push it and make sure it's, in every, a copy could be in every home if they wanted it. Put it somewhere equally accessible to download and distribute it for free. Reasons, and you can think of the titles and stuff yourself. Don't worry, Will. I'm dyslexic and hyperactive, so her daughter is wise, seeing what her peers are doing, then ascertaining the bigger picture. She knows not to feel under peer pressure. Yeah, and the other delightful thing is, Sister Lisa, is that a best friend, Yanka's like this, like I am. We're very thin, and we don't eat a lot of fat. And she's got a best friend who has got some shape. I'm being kind, but I've got to describe her, and she's probably 3 of Yanka body masses combined, if you combine Yanka against the friend. And she really loves her, and they get on so well. She protects her, and this girl, the best friend, knocked into one of these popular girls that has the skirt rolled up so it's short of, more up from the knee. And this girl went ape, literally. And this girl went ape, saying, "Why are you touching my property? Why do you think, the popular girls and the bigger girls are like easy pickings and stuff?" So yeah, she sees a lot, and she's trying to learn a second language and fit in and make friends and do the right thing. So it'd be easy for Yanka just to go with the popular girls and not have any morals and ethics. But she chooses. It is a choice, and it's her environment. So it's hard work when you have these environments that are out of our presence. Then I will present to you that when they are out of our presence and jurisdiction, authority, then they are under the influence of many and various external things, chemicals in the sweets and the food and the fast foods, the music, and then the peer pressure. Exactly, that's a big issue for young adolescents, teenagers and so forth, as we see on Jeremy Kyle shows and what goes off there. Look at the nations, wow. Yeah, so we need everybody to have this same. So it is what it is, and times are full of Jezebels. I'm not saying the girls are Jezebels, but there's Jezebel spirits everywhere. The energies are changing. So this is the time. This is an important time to pass this information around. It's your job. Whoever's watching this, it's your job. It's your duty. No job. We know what job is. Hebrew curse. Blah. Sorry, it's your duty, and it's each one of us be the change that you want to see. Mahatma Gandhi, I think. So yeah. If you want to change and see that change, we have to act. Read the Gospel of Thomas for further informative, excellent words, unlike the coverage of the first Crusades, which will make you shudder, shiver, and possibly a little bit sick. So, it's there. What sort of, they come eyebrows, big black ones? No, they won't have big black ones. It's going to be sorted out, in-house, it starts at home, it starts with you. So whoever's watching, if you're a mum or a dad, we don't say pair rent, because you are not a pair that rents the property. Listen to the phonics of the parent sound. You are the father, you are the mother, you sired, nurtured, produced that property in the kingdom of heaven, hell, the realm of allegedly free. So you need to think about that and have a chat, please, and talk to your daughter's dads. It's good to come from dads first. Dads do the the hard talk, as we do, concerned and whatnot, and then you let the mum settle it down and just say, and then dad steps back and mum deals with it all, That's how the female flow goes, and they have the authority, and it's all their world, and and then if dad needs to, then dad will then take the authoritative position and say, let's go, foot down, wagons roll. Put pen to paper, make the magic happen, take back your rights, reserve the rights, and if necessary, if there is no if there is grief and there is issues, you explain to the daughter there that she's going to be wearing trousers until they toe the line. If they want to wear skirts at all, that's how it's going to have to be, and sex will come when they are ready. Lord, Pornhub, the internet, 5G and access to doesn't help. These horrible things. I swear under the Creator, with nothing cross, I've never really seen on purpose more than probably once, and that was an animal, a horrific video. I refuse to watch them. I refuse to. If there's an email there with a dodgy title, I've never ever had an experience of. And going back to Jihadi John, I believe it was, when there was an issue with beheading, and I know there's a lot floating around. I hear it from the building trade, and if you are sharing that kind of stuff, then that's how this is allowed to perpetuate. We need to be the ones to stop, boycott, and seriously think now, because we are the ones that have the decision and the choice, and your choices, whether it be done via tacit acquiescence, or whether you are headstrong and knowledgeable and forthright, and reserve the rights and press forward privately with a clear conscience. Conscionable acts. These are unconscionable acts that the girls are doing at the age of 12. You're responsible for them. As I've said, you have the power, the authority. Correct the trust relationship with your family, with the daughters. I'm just saying that in a hierarchical way, and then correct it with the academy. All right, peace and love. It's time to